other. He's a friend from work.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
Don't you ever talk about me!
The Killing Time Podcast with Lux and Cody.
All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the Killing Time Podcast. I'm Darien Lux, and I'm here with...
Cody Chrissy. What's up, everybody?
Cody Chrissy. Not Corey, though.
I can't even.
Definitely not Corey Chrissy. Don't ever call him Corey Chrissy. Why do you hate Corey?
I don't hate Corey. It's just not my name.
But when people call you Corey, though, you get all pissed.
Well, yeah, because it's not my name.
Oh. How would...
It'd be like
if
people
you were
calling
Corey,
you Darren.
how would you spell it?
I would spell it... See, okay, so... like R-Y? R-Y is grungy.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, suicidal. And E-Y is gay and douchebaggy. So... K.
What if you spell it with a K?
I spell it with a K.
But you know, there's Coury.
There's what?
Coury.
No, that's just that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, okay, well, good.
And it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please.
Yeah, subscribe.
I always forget to say that. Subscribe, and you'll see us first, and you'll get notifications if you hit the bell. So, hate being that guy, but it would be cool if you subscribed. And if you like the content, then thank you. Much appreciated. But, how's life? How you doing?
I'm here, man.
You're here?
Yeah, man. It's good. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy going on right now, really.
How's your ankles doing?
My ankles are fine.
They're better than Dak Prescott's?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Dude, that's brutal. That's brutal. You hate to see that to anyone.
You know what the worst part about that was, though?
What?
Like, everybody was like, ooh, they're all freaking out about the break.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm making a big deal about all them douchebags going over there and shaking his hand. He's like...
Giving him COVID.
Bro, no, fuck the COVID. He's biting on a towel. He's crying.
No.
He's in pain, dude. They're like, we love you, bro. You're in our prayers, bro. We got you, bro.
I'm the kind of person, like, that would annoy me. I don't know for him, but me, if I just snapped my leg in half on television, get away from me, leave me alone, don't touch me, don't look at me. Like, thank you for the support and the love, I appreciate it, but I would get pissed.
It was every one of them.
After like the 107th football player to come up and
dude, it was every one of them.
Get me out of here.
They had the third string kicker. And he's like, thanks, man. He didn't even know he was on the team. he didn't even know he was on the team.
Dude, you're on the cart. I'm like, yo, Jason Statham, get me out of here, please.
Shit, man.
Step on that thing. Let's go. Punch it, Chewy. Let's go. Get me out of here.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, when he picks up his calf and it's like just dangling, and they're over, they're shaking it, trying to. Zeke comes over and here, let me help you with that, bro.
He was like, get it moving. There's too many of them. Start shaking the ankle. They were just shaking the ankle and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Two shakes for good luck.
It was I just was like,
get me out of there.
I know he was in pain, dude.
No. And then part of that's also my insecurity of showing that I'm in pain and crying in front of all those dudes. I'd be like covering my face, like, no, I don't want you to see me like this. Like,
well, the worst thing is when you're crying and there's there's an internal injury, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, they don't know how bad it is. This is visibly, like, you can see this is cry-worthy, dude. This is cry-worthy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
for
like
sure. Dak Prescott leaves the field emotional. What?
Well, there's your answer. There's your answer to the last week's question.
Yeah, you're right. But what is emotional when your foot is dangling off your leg? That's not emotional. His shit is snapped.
He's not emotional. He's hurting. He wants the morphine.
That hurts.
He wants the morphine, bro. Get me back there and get me injected ASAP.
Let me snap your leg and see how emotional you are.
So an
emotional Dak Prescott leaves the field. Oh, okay.
No, a hurt.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. He's emotional now.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the painkillers. He's subdued. Like his legs probably all done up.
And we've seen, dude, with Alex Smith very recently. We've seen what this can turn into. So,
Oof.
and then like I'm so annoyed at the 2021 MVP comeback player of the year. Like, bro, let's just get the leg stable first.
Well, let's make sure he's coming back.
Yeah, like it took Alex Smith 3 years to come back. That's all what happened. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Dak Prescott.
Well, I mean, let's just hope he can play football again and everything's fine. It should. I don't know nothing about it, obviously. I don't know Dick, but I would suggest a break is in some cases better than
sprains.
Sprains and because sprains I don't think heal. I think they're kind of always a thing. I think if you break, you can fix and pins, rods, whatever, compound fracture. I think a break is probably always a better versus tearing ligaments or hyperextending shit. I just think that a break is probably not like the best case scenario, but I think for longevity wise, I think he's gonna be okay because it was a break and not like a sprain or. It's a bitch, though. His is different. Yep. I mean, it's compound fracture, so I don't know nothing about that. I don't know anything. I just,
absolutely snapped.
Feel for the guy.
How about the
he was breaking records, right?
Tennessee Titans right
now
just smacked the shit out of the Buffalo Bills
I lost
after not practicing for 2 weeks. This is ridiculous. You there?
I am now. You're there now.
What the fuck?
Just edit it. Who smacked the shit out of the Buffalo Bills?
The Tennessee Titans, after not practicing for 2 weeks, just put a clinic on the Buffalo Bills. The undefeated Buffalo Bills, who everyone's ranting and raving about, and I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so I'm happy to see it, but Tennessee just put up 42 points on the Bills after having a walkthrough in 2 weeks. One walkthrough in 2 weeks. And here's my immediate thoughts. Did Tennessee just prove to the NFL that you don't need to practice? If they can do that?
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because how important is rest? Let's just talk about how important rest is in combat sports, right? Mm-hmm. In the UFC, and when you train, but you also have to rest, and rest is very important for restoration and to heal and all that. I mean, you need to practice. Yes, you need to practice. You have to. Practicing is a definite, but do you need to practice as much? Is there a lesser time that you need to practice? I don't know anything about that, but I would say practice is definitely important. We need to have chemistry. There's a lot of people that need to be on the same page. So, and we're 4 weeks in now. Let's see what the Tennessee Titans are game one with no practice, right?
Sure.
So, I mean,
Interesting.
I mean, to come off and
I said today Tennessee could come out and shock the world with a big win today, and that's exactly what happened. So, Tennessee, I mean, they have a good team.
They have the potential.
I mean, they were undefeated.
Potential.
They were undefeated, and then what happened, and it sucked for them. But the fact that they came out with no practice against an undefeated team and put a whooping on them and made Josh Allen look like rookie Josh Allen, incredible. But like I said, my immediate thought is like, situations like this, obviously they didn't prove to the NFL that you don't need practice. But coaches around the league, and especially in Tennessee, are going to start to look at things a little different. They're going to start to look at things a little different when it comes to preparation, practice, things like that. They're going to look at things a little different. This is not going to go unnoticed. This won't be just a fluke. I can almost guarantee it. Especially in a season like this, like everything has been uprooted. Like some of this stuff is going to stick. Some of these protocols that are just COVID protocols, they're going to stick long term.
Well, because some of it was useful.
I definitely see Yeah, I definitely see, especially with the injury concerns, and how much they've nerfed practice as a whole already. Some people are going to take notice to what happened tonight, I think.
Aaron Rodgers
And
talked about
also, this really kind of throws. I mean, this is a good thing because now we don't have to say if this happens again and games get delayed and whatever. Like, hey, the Tennessee didn't practice for 2 weeks and they came out and and performed. So we don't have to worry about forfeits. We don't have to worry about delaying games. Just isolate everyone, and everyone that's healthy, they can go play the game. I mean, I think it should be that simple. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm ready for like a real deal solution, dude.
Yeah,
I'm ready for
sure.
like a one and done. You know what I mean? Like I'm just ready for that. But
for sure. Interesting games this week. Upcoming, of course, Pittsburgh is playing the Browns, which should be very, very interesting. 4-1 Browns against the 4-0 Steelers, and it's the Steelers are very interesting because they've been dominant without looking dominant. I think for the most part, they've had the lead. I guess they were down against Tennessee, or they were down against the Texans for a bit, and they were down against the Giants at the very beginning of that game. But they were never down in the Eagles game. For the most part, I mean, they're getting turnovers, they're getting sacks. Teams really can't run on us. It seems like it's just been the explosive plays that are big, but big explosive plays are going to happen on any team any week in the NFL. So we actually have a pretty well-balanced Steelers team compared to the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years where we've either been offense heavy or defense heavy. So very interesting. And then there's the Browns who looked terrible week 1 and then now have won 4 games in a row. Their offense looks spectacular. They have a good defensive line, but their Achilles heel is definitely their defensive backfield. So if Ben in the passing game can get hot, we should be fine. We should be fine against the Browns, but it should be a good game, I think.
well, you talked about us being balanced. That's all credit to Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, we knew the defense was. We knew the defense last year what it was. We knew last year all we needed was an offense. We knew that. I mean, the Rams game. That was a defensive game when we won that game. We knew we were lacking the offense, and to bring us to that core balance we was missing the only ingredient. That's Ben Roethlisberger, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't give credit to anybody else, and he's playing like they almost took something from him, right? He's playing like he was never going to be able to play football again. Not to get on Ben Roethlisberger, but he's playing good. The whole team's playing good. We're well balanced. This is not pessimistic at all, but this week right here is not any surprise to me if Pittsburgh doesn't win this football game. So
you wouldn't be surprised if we lost.
I wouldn't be surprised if we lost at all by any stretch of the imagination. This is
why is that?
It's the Browns, man. It's the Browns. We always tend to play to a different level when we play teams that we should beat. I think the Browns. I think when you give the Browns a competitive match, a competitive game, they're willing to play. They're willing to match it. If you just run amok on them, they can't catch up, and they're not really dominating football games, right? So, but I think when you give them an evenly parred match, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I just don't. I'm just not surprised. I mean, I've been optimistic about most of these football games. This week coming up, I'm just a little bit. It's not going to surprise me if we lose this game.
I feel you. I think I'm I am more so than other years. I think I can remove the Browns from themselves and just look at them as a team. Look at them as another football squad.
Yeah.
I can remove the AFC North, the rivalry, for this year for a couple of reasons. One, because I've seen what we did against Saquon Barkley. Just completely removed him from the game. I see that Ben Roethlisberger is playing extremely smart. He's using his mobility when he needs to. He's not gunslinging like he used to. He knows when to get rid of the ball. He's not overextending plays when he shouldn't. I think our play calling is still a little lacking. I have not been too thrilled with Randy Fichtner since they've promoted him to offensive coordinator. But then again, Pittsburgh has had a problem with an offensive coordinator probably going back since we've had like Ken Wisenhunt. We've just not had – maybe I guess Bruce Arians was a good offensive coordinator. But Todd Haley and now Randy Fichtner, we've just not had – I just don't think the play calling has been great as a whole. So that is definitely scary to me, but I think we can minimize Kareem Hunt. I don't know if Chubb is healthy or not. I know he didn't play this weekend. I'm not really too scared of them running the ball, and that's their biggest thing. The Browns need to run the ball to set up the pass. It's one of the most fundamental things in football, but for the Browns, it's the most necessary thing for them, especially with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's a quarterback who can be a good quarterback whenever everything is going right for him. I don't think he's a guy that you really want to improv or really want to throw the team on his back. I think when everything's going right, then he can be a good quarterback. And I can definitely see our defense making trouble for him, especially early. I'm not too worried about Odell or Jarvis Landry because we've matched up against these wide receivers perfectly. Even when Odell was in even when he was in New York, we played against them. They've never really had big games against us. So I'm not too worried about their passing attack. Really not worried about their running attack. And like I said, I just think our offense is playing smart. Sometimes a little too conservative for my liking. But at the end of the day, whatever gets a win, I'll take. I do know what you mean by it being a Browns game, but I think the fact that it's home is a big help. I don't think we've lost to the Browns at home since 2003.
Right.
And just like I said, I just think matchups. If we were just looking at matchups, removing all the other
But
implications.
I'm not even saying it because of the rivalry and stuff though. I'm saying it just strictly because I believe that. Maybe it is. Maybe part of it is the superstition. Maybe it's part of the Browns thing. So yeah, you're saying eye for an eye matchup, football team versus football team.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down the roster, we're going to be better than them in most positions. I mean, I guess skill positions on paper they're probably better than us. Whenever you have Odell, Kareem, Nick Chubb, Jarvis, maybe on paper they're going to look a little better than our skill players, but I think as you're seeing, like if Chase Claypool's our number 3, our number 4 wide receiver, then we're in good shape.
Well, he stepped up.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Cruz were talking about it during the game, and we were saying it's just every play that he was a part of, he played with intention, right?
Yeah,
it just seemed like
and he's a matchup nightmare. Yeah, he's a matchup nightmare.
Big guy, just you kind of that was one of the worries that I had was kind of the secondary. I was kind of worried that maybe our secondary would struggle a little bit. You don't seem to be too concerned about it. That was really my only concern because of the Saquon Barkley situation. They didn't have an offense. Saquon was their only hope. Yeah. I mean, I think they have a little bit more of a variety to offer, the Browns do, versus the Giants. So if we shut down Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, whoever it may be, I mean, I was worried. I was a little worried about our secondary, to be perfectly honest with you. Not that I underestimate them or anything, but they're going to have their hands full this Sunday, I think. But like you were saying, they don't have big games against us. I'm not into any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I think. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It'll be
For
interesting.
sure.
We're due. I mean, if we stay undefeated for the season, great. But we also know that there's the chances of that are slim. So we'll see what happens. Optimism, but I don't know. And in later news, over to you, Lux.
Let me see what other big games there are this week.
But let me ask you this real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
Do you believe? I know this that we've already moved on from this, but I want to while it's still fresh. Is the only reason that the Titans beating the Bills surprised you is just because they didn't practice? If they would have just been on regular and they came out and won, would you have thought that? Like, would you be surprised?
I would have picked the Bills.
Or
I would have picked the Bills to win. Had the
circumstances?
Tennessee Titans practiced, I would have still picked the Bills to win. But the fact that they beat them 42-10 is really alarming after the circumstances. Then they go out and put a whooping on them like that and turn Josh Allen into rookie Josh Allen. Like, that's what's really crazy to me. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Texans and Titans.
They were rested.
Yeah. Nah. Let's see. Bills and Chiefs. No one cares about Ravens.
Yeah, that's a big
The Eagles are going to get their the Eagles are going to get their dicks knocked in the dirt. I guess. I mean, this week's matchups are kind of weak, actually. Cardinals Cowboys could be interesting on Monday Night Football because of Andy Dalton playing. Go ahead.
Well, that'll be an interesting game. That'll be an interesting game to see Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I wish you should have brought some of our pictures along. Your pictures along from Sunday's game of Greg.
Oh,
how excited he was to be there and everything. Oh man.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious because like,
dude, I was dying.
the dumbass EAGLES Eagles. That stupid fucking chant, and they're doing it, and then you know how the game was looking really bad for a little bit when it was like 31 to 14. Like the game really got away.
Yep.
We're all just sitting there like. And I'll be the first to admit, once Philly started coming back, I got nervous because I've seen that so many times over the last few years.
Right.
Us get up, have the game won, and then just shit the bed. I've seen that so many times.
Not as
but
many
it's
times
just
as the
funny.
Falcons, but anyways.
Yeah, it's just funny whenever you're a fan of the opposing team, and you go into the away stadium and you're doing your chants, but you're down the entire time, and you're cheering and cheering, and then like you still lost. Like you came into Pittsburgh to root for your team. I get that, but I don't know. It's just like,
are you talking about Greg?
You're him and like there were actually where we were sitting. There was like 6 Eagles fans behind us.
Okay.
Yeah. There was like 6 Eagles fans behind us.
Okay, as long as there was other Eagles fans, you can expect this from Greg. As long as you're talking about other
but it's
people,
like,
okay.
What I'm trying to say is, even if you guys lose, like bring that energy, bro. Where's that energy? Like, where's your Eagles chant? Like, you guys came here for a reason, right? Like to watch your team, right? You knew they were playing an undefeated. You knew they were playing an undefeated team. So like, why are we all down in the dumps now that they lost? They suck this year. I'm sorry. It's like it is what it is. So
listen,
if you're gonna bring that energy, if you're gonna bring that energy, like I need it throughout the whole game. I need that energy throughout the whole game, win or lose. So, is what it is.
Just think about that for a minute, Lux. Think about that for a minute. There was only 5,500 people allowed, right? Mm-hmm. And they were willing, and they knew that at capacity they were willing to take slots for the away game from people that could go to the home.
Sure.
For what reason? Like they wanted to go that bad.
Yeah. to watch you get your ass beat by the Steelers. I don't get it. Yeah, but this week's matchups are not the greatest. Outside of bias aside, Browns Steelers is easily the best matchup this week. Outside of that, I guess it's
Bills Chiefs.
Chiefs and Bills because they're both coming off a loss.
Yeah, to a team.
Both coming off an upset loss. So that's an interesting one. In 2 weeks, we play the Titans, and hopefully we're both undefeated still. And we can have the undefeated Steelers play the undefeated Titans. That would be interesting. Because I think it's just Seahawks, Packers, Steelers, and Titans that left at this point. I think everyone else has a loss, at least one. But not the greatest matchups this week. You know what has been interesting to move away from the NFL? I don't know how much attention you've paid. I don't know how much attention you've paid to all of this going back and forth between John Jones and Israel Adesanya recently.
Oh my God, there's so much of it. Yeah,
Right.
it's like never ending. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
What's up? What do you think? You might be going up to 205?
No, the timing is terrible. This is the worst timing for this to happen. It's only happening because Israel's relevant with his recent win. That's the only reason it's happening. The timing couldn't be worse with John's dropping the belt, saying he's going up to heavyweight, and now the person he's supposed to fight is the 185-pound champ. So it doesn't. The timing is off. I definitely want to see it happen because at least you can say they're the same height, and Izzy is long too. Obviously, no one's as long as John Jones, but I'm interested to see it. It's just not the time. It's not the time for it. We gotta get Jones into heavyweight first and see what he can do there.
We're not even, bro. Izzy, they know exactly what they're doing, man. This is not even close to being the time. This is just all preset. This just makes the fight even better. I mean, I don't know why you said true, but I'm going to backpedal just a little bit, and you'll correct me on this. There's not a whole lot of hype that this fight needs. Let's just be honest. Everybody wants that fight. Who doesn't?
Oh, yeah.
But it's just going to make it even better. Starting back from 2020, they probably won't fight till the end of 2021. If they did, it's 2022 probably.
Because think about it. Either one of them could fight 2 to 3 fights between now and this time next year. Realistically, especially with how the fights, like, Izzy could knock 3 dudes out, like, Jones could knock, like, they could easily get 3 fights underneath them, like, in a year's time. So I'm not saying we're far away, but I think Izzy's just getting moving in his division. We're just about to see John head up to heavyweight, and I want to see Jones Stipe before I want to see Izzy and Jones because Stipe can go at any minute. Yeah. We got to see Jones Stipe first. We got to see Jones
100%, dude.
We got to see Jones Francis Ngannou before we see anything. Like, there's fights at heavyweight. But
that's the potential we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for Izzy?
It's interesting. Let me pull up the 185 ranking. Let me see here. 185 rankings UFC. Dumbass Paulo Costa is like, sign the contract, bro, you're not getting that.
Oh my God.
There's no contract. You're not getting
Go home.
rematch after that.
You're
not like, just chill
go
for a
home.
little bit. Please. So we already saw Izzy Whitaker. We saw Izzy Costa. We saw Izzy Romero.
It's Chimaev. It's Chimaev.
Is he? But he's 70, isn't he?
He can fight that. He can fight.
Doesn't he? Oh my God, this is so annoying to me. So he pulled. He was talking. I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday, but he's calling out Nate Diaz, and
Nate. This dude wants to crush everybody. So you don't like this guy?
No, I'm fine with that. I don't like Nate Diaz. Because it's funny because in his call out, he's like, I only want to fight a real fighter like you, Nate. It's like, I'll give you Nate Diaz is a real fighter once he's inside the cage. But if anything, the last 5 years have proven that Nate Diaz is not in the fight game to be a fighter.
Oh no, he just wants to pick off. I think he just wants to take out their stars. And Nate? You can't take that away from Nate. He's a star.
I don't think he wants to do anything. He sits on Twitter and talks shit. Yeah, what does he do? He talks shit and fights once every 3 years.
I'm saying Chimaev. I don't think he's giving him the respect as a fighter. I think he's taking him out as a star.
He should. For sure. You want to fight Nate Diaz if you're him. For sure. But I'm just so tired of the narrative.
Fighter. I get you. I understand.
I'm so tired of the narrative that Nate Diaz is real. Like he's just like fuck Nate Diaz. Like I don't care what contract problems you had, what negotiations. Like none of that. Like forget all of that. If you're gonna say you're in the fight game because you're a real fighter, then you're gonna fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Like to me, that's a real fighter.
But it's different, right? It goes back to the same with Conor McGregor. This is what Daniel Cormier was just talking about, saying, take the fight then, Conor. Fight Dustin Poirier in the UFC. You said you want to fight anyone. They got them DMs out that he was talking about setting up a fight with Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
Whether that was the case, whatever.
Ridiculous.
But he's talking, and DC's like, if you want to fight, you'll fight. If you're a real fighter, you'll take the fight, dude.
Yeah.
So
nothing annoys me more as a fan of the UFC and a fan of MMA when you talk shit on Twitter and you'll say you'll do anything, and when it comes time, you don't do it. And it's a contract this, date that, sponsorship that, like, no. So especially when it's dudes that have made their nut, like these two, like Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor. Obviously, Conor's made vastly much more money than Nate Diaz, but, like, spare me. I don't want it. We don't, us MMA fans, we don't want to hear that shit. We don't give a shit.
Dude, I feel you.
About how much money you make. Like,
yo, let me ask you this real quick. Did he fight Dustin Poirier? Did Nate Diaz fight Dustin Poirier? I thought that got blown off. I thought that they didn't come to an agreement.
A long time ago.
Really? I didn't remember seeing that fight.
Diaz.
Wow.
Poirier,
I didn't even remember watching him fight Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, years ago.
But yeah.
Conor
totally
fought Dustin years ago.
But I truly believe Khamzat Chimaev is the same thing you're talking about in the turn side. He's the guy that wants to fight everybody. He'll fight anybody. And I don't think he's given Nate Diaz the respect by calling him out. I think he's wanting to take him out more or less because he's a UFC star, not that he's a great fighter. Like, I'll come here and smash your greatest dudes, the people that idolize him, idolize the most people, right? He wants to fight everyone.
Yeah.
All right, we didn't have to get on him, but that's a bad motherfucker. That's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
I would definitely want to see that fight. But like it's just, I'm just annoyed with the Nate Diaz talk. It's like, dude, I could say this though. I'm more annoyed with Nick Diaz than I am Nate Diaz. The fact that we had to listen to you,
where's he been?
We had to listen to you bitch and complain about them ruining your career for you to come back and fight one time, and you literally laid down on the mat against Anderson Silva.
Yeah. Silva, yeah.
We had to sit here for years and listen to you complain. Oh, because marijuana, I failed a marijuana test and now I can't, suspended me for 5 years and that's going to ruin my career. I'm like, bro, all that bitching and complaining, you fought one time and talk shit on Twitter since then. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I could so see that. I could see that side 100%. But wait, what's next for Israel Adesanya? What's next for Israel Adesanya?
I guess Jared Cannonier is what it looks like.
That is, yeah.
Which that would be interesting.
What do you think?
The thing is, like, he's already. It's tough because he's kind of in the situation where John Jones was, where he's already fought the top dogs of his division. I guess one of the things John Jones had for him going was that he would get suspended and miss a year, and the rankings would progress, and the weight class would progress, so that he would have like somewhat of a fresh face to come back to. So, not that we want to see that happen, but it's interesting when you see someone run through a division like that. and then to try and find the new challenges for them. Because 185 is definitely an older division, and he is the young, bright star of it. So it's interesting. Situations like this is why we really need a 195. I think would help if there was a 195 and then 85 and 95 could go back and forth. I think that would be huge for fans, for the UFC, for fighters. If they added like 2 more divisions, because really you could go. So you got 25, 35, 45, 55, and then it goes to 70. So you could go 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205. So far we've only added 1 division. Yeah, right? Because if you get rid of 70, and make 70, 65, and so you really only need to add 2 divisions. If you add 65 and add 195, that would be, and then you got 205 and heavyweight. I mean, heavyweight pretty much is a catchweight division as it is, because you can be anywhere from 206 pounds to 265 pounds. So that division in itself is a catchweight division. But they could add 2 weight classes, and that would open so many things up, because in between 45 and 70, like those dudes, those are the ones that move their weight around the most. Like Cerrone's been up and down, back and forth. Poirier, like Holloway, these guys are bouncing around because those divisions are so close. So I think if they added more, it would only progress the sport.
It would open the door for
open things up.
Yeah, it would open up to do something with more of these fighters. I get you. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
We don't have to move on from.
What else I want to talk about?
We don't have to move on from UFC yet, because there's some big shit, dude. How about that knockout? Holy hell!
Oh my God!
What do you think of that?
Buckley?
Yeah, Buckley.
Dude, I watched the fights at night. And I missed that one live, but the thing that's so incredible to me about that is
the IQ.
It's one thing that he grabs your foot, and then just the creativity to spin off of the grab and kind of use him as like a fulcrum of your weight, and then to have the accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy to put your that foot. Kick right on his jaw, like incredible.
I can't believe here's what I took from it. First of all, the IQ that he had when he grabbed his foot,
the speed.
But how
the speed he did that.
The explosion. How do you get so much explosiveness off of 1 foot? Like,
right.
It's just everything was, like you said, he used him.
Yeah, he used him. He used his body to like leverage himself. Like, incredible.
It wasn't so much that it was just a great knockout altogether. It was a very impressive, skillful, creative. It was just all around just tremendous thought, IQ, just reaction. Pretty cool stuff.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And then this weekend, the fight card doesn't look great, but we got Brian Ortega and Korean Zombie, which should be.
I saw that, ridiculous. But I won't be watching that, I'm sure, because I'm not going to get into why, but I'll be watching a different fight pay-per-view, and you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll save.
We'll save that for another time. Please,
we'll save that.
Please, before
we'll save that.
Yeah.
What's his name? Chomalenko.
Lomachenko.
Lomachenko.
Who's
he fighting?
Teofimo Lopez.
Some dude no one's ever heard of.
What do you mean no one's ever heard of?
What's his name?
Teofimo Lopez.
Fumatu Mahafalo.
Yeah, bro.
Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Bro, I'm telling you. Tune in. Tune in. You're gonna like this. This is gonna be a good.
Yeah.
You would like
riveting.
This.
Yeah, get the popcorn ready.
I'm telling you this. It's probably gonna be just as exciting as an Israel Adesanya fight. Let's just be honest. Lately, let's just be honest. Well, I'm not calling him boring. And he's very skillful and impressive. It's just that tactical shit. That's what you get. It's not like the Buckley.
Yeah.
Front flips and kicks in the face. No. But we're not getting into this. We're not getting into this tonight.
Imagine if every fight was like Buckley.
That's what we want.
Like
Chimaev. Yeah. Chimaev's been close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Korean Zombie and Ortega, like look at their highlight reels.
I have to watch that though. I know everything. You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
every fight is a finish. Like if this doesn't
Ortega
this doesn't
just
end in
goes
a finish,
hard,
like
dude.
yeah, these guys are crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited about that as well.
Oh, so I guess the big talk of the weekend, especially if you're on Twitter, is the Bill Burr outrage.
Dude, what the hell? That was the best. That was the best, man.
How funny is this? It's like let me tell you what happened.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
What happened is people that watch Saturday Night Live, like, it's, they pick on the president, and like, yeah, that's awesome, that's fun. Like, we can pick on the president, and we could say all these things about the president because we agree. And then, like, Bill Burr comes on, and this is a dude that's just, he's not a red guy, he's not a blue guy, he's not this or that. He's just a free spirit. That's just what he is. He's not bought, he's not paid for. He just goes on and says whatever he thinks is right. And
he's a comedian.
People that have a certain viewpoint, a certain mindset, certain belief system, have a hard time because what I just explained does sound a lot like the president, does it not? Not to compare Bill Burr to Donald Trump at all, but
it sounds like
the
something,
spirit.
But what it sounds like is something that they don't agree with, right? When it's okay,
and this is what I'm getting to.
Yeah, keep going. Just keep going.
Now, if their person goes, up there, and this is not a blue thing, a red thing. If your person goes up and says your thing, like, literally, this is literally political rallies. They go up and they say the thing that makes the crowd go, yeah.
That's it.
Bill Burr didn't do that. And Saturday Night Live is a political rally. It is not even just a political, it's an ideologue. Like, these are our viewpoints, and you watch it because you agree with us. There are times where they'll go left to center, right to center. They'll flip-flop and skew the narrative.
Are they way more?
But Bill Burr didn't go up there and champion.
Well, aren't they way left?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are. They'll shit like they're making fun of Biden though a little bit too. Is what I'm saying. Like,
sometimes, yeah. Well, they make a shit show of the whole thing in itself.
Yes, that like
it's not our fault that Trump gives them the content.
Sure.
Trump just gives them the
what
content.
I'm saying is it's no secret that they're liberal, but
right, exactly.
They're not afraid. They're not afraid to poke fun at themselves here a little bit. But Bill Burr is not. You can't categorize him as anything.
No, but hold that thought just for a second. This is what you're saying, though. Check this out. You just said this, right? So these people that enjoy Saturday Night Live typically tune in and they watch the SNL cast do nothing but make fun of our president and make fun of our government as a whole. It's funny to poke fun at people when you're not fitting the narrative, right? So now when Bill Burr came in, some of these people fit the narrative of what he was making fun of. Wait. We can't poke fun, and this is no defense to the president or anything like that. We can't make fun of certain people because they fit this narrative, but we can make fun of others because they fit this narrative. It's so ass backwards. It's so contradictory.
And I know I'm not, but let's say I'm wrong about that. If it's not that, here's also what happened. You watch Saturday Night Live and you enjoy it, but you have no clue who Bill Burr is. You have no clue who he is and what he's said over the last 20 years of his career. Because me as a Bill Burr fan, I thought it was funny. He's, from his podcast to his stand-up to me seeing him live, he didn't say anything I haven't heard him say before. And I don't mean that to disparage Bill Burr at all. Everything he said was something like, he said similar things along the same thought process over his entire career. Like, to me, that was nothing new. He didn't say anything. So whenever I heard him say those things, it was just like, oh, this is just Bill Burr. He's on TV. He can't swear. He can't say certain things. So this is just him picking out of the bag things that he knows is going to be funny. Because literally the most offensive thing he said was about women, and they clapped after it. The crowd clapped after it. If you watch it again,
the crowd clapped.
The only time he got a clap was after that. So he just kind of like cherry picked. No. First of all, we're gonna call him homophobic. We're gonna call him homophobic. What did he say that was homophobic? He said June's a little long, and then he explained why he thought June was a little long, because he said for a group of people that were never enslaved, and then went on to talk about Black History Month being the shortest and coldest month of the year.
He only set that up. He only set up this is, you got to understand, he's at work. He's doing a job.
Yes.
Okay, he's a funny guy, but he's doing a job. He only used that analogy for the Gay Pride Month so he can therefore talk for Black history and because it's a time right now where there's inequality and his wife's black.
Right. And
Right?
this is why comedy doesn't work whenever you cut the tagline or cut. Bill Burr said this, because you don't get the follow up. And the same thing happened to Tom Segura with his special. I can't remember the specifics, but it was something, he said something about the R word, retard, and then went to go on to it where he wasn't actually making fun of disabled people at all. But the story was, the line that came out is Tom Segura is making fun of mentally handicapped people. And if you just caught the one thing he said, then sure, it does sound like it. But if you listen to the entire bit and the entire thought process, and then you understand the intention of where they're coming from as a person and as a comedian, you know that that's not what they were saying. He didn't say June is too long. He didn't say June is too long. Gay people shouldn't have a month. It's not what he said. Not what he said at all. It's just not what he said.
You know what he said? You know what he said? He said, I only think he brought that up so he could, because he needed to talk about the narrative, what's going on with the racism and everything like that. So to bring it up, this is how he's going to go into it, right? And then he even went on to say, and if you're a gay African American, like, hello, I'm adapted and I know what the hell's going on in the world. There's gay African Americans, and if you're a gay African American, then you get an even longer.
You get 61 straight days. Yeah.
Exactly. And so.
That
nothing wrong.
He's in New York. He's telling a story about being in New York when this is happening. Like, he tied the whole thing together. He didn't go up there and it wasn't a town hall. It wasn't the gays are bad. They shouldn't have them. That's not what he did. And even if he did, he's a comedian. He's telling jokes and people laughed. Yep. So let's not act like it's. Then we got mad that he called women bitches. Did he call women bitches because he said, "I'm not"? He said something to the effect of, "I'm not. I don't want to bring down my bitches here, my bitches," and meaning he's a white person talking about white women. And depending on where you're from and how you speak, bitches is a term of endearment. Like,
let me tell
it's girls' night with the bitches. Like,
first and foremost, let me tell you this, okay? If the guy that I saw the one of the comments on Twitter from a guy that said about calling women bitches, like, don't you know that it's a thing at a time, whatever. Let me first of all, I saw that kid. If he's gay, okay, if he's gay, then I don't want to hear what the hell he has to say about women, anyways. All right. And if he's straight, here's what I want to. I don't give a shit. This is what I'm saying right here. If he's straight. You know damn well he's got an OnlyFans. He's on Pornhub. Bro, don't you even go there talking about they're not. Yeah, come on, man. You just woke up on Tuesday morning and wanted to write a blog on freaking Reddit and didn't have nothing better to do than to attack somebody that might have messed up and said something wrong. And honestly, who are these people? Bill Burr's gonna go back, right? He's gonna do his thing. No.
He's going to crush it. He's going to continue to crush it and be the best comedian in the world.
But is it not annoying? Is it not annoying? It's every time.
And then he proves it right. He literally proves it right. He says white women hijacked the woke movement by making it all about them. And what did they do on Twitter?
Yeah.
What did they all do on Twitter? They all complained. Yeah. So he literally proved himself. Like, couldn't have done a better job of proving himself right. That's why he's the king.
I just don't understand. Like, you even had men. You even had men that aren't straight. And I'm not saying that against gay people. I have nothing against it. But here's what I am saying, okay? You're not involved with women.
Right.
In the sense of being respectful or disrespectful. Your lover, like there was men on there saying that you shouldn't be talking about women the way that he is, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. The women should be the ones having a problem with it. You as a man, to sit and it's petty. If he got on there and said these sluts, these whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was,
he didn't do any of that.
No, dude, like it's just how petty are we as a society? How? And is it gonna get worse?
You know what?
It's that we keep allowing this to happen though, and thankfully it's Bill Burr, but it's not like a. I don't want to get into detail because I don't know the whole story, but like I do know like the Chris D'Elia situation and stuff.
Sure,
bro, I didn't see anything incriminating. Maybe you didn't. Maybe it didn't hold up to your morals. Maybe it didn't hold up to your morals, but I didn't see anything incriminating. And to strip somebody from his career.
Yeah.
I mean, and it just happened in crazy. Like they should not be the court of public opinion should be one thing, but it should not be the determining factor of how your life goes on.
You're 100% right.
Anyways,
100% right.
What's up? I'm just going on.
What also I get a kick out of is,
but you know, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, could get on
anything
there
about the fact that
a couple nights a week he could be on live television and he wore those tight ass khaki shorts where his bulge was sticking out, and he'd be walking around stalking animals, harming them, hurting them. No one says anything.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
What?
Who are you talking?
I was talking about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Remember when he used? Everybody loves him, right?
Right.
What are you talking about? I was talking about Steve Irwin.
Go ahead. Oh, I
was talking about Steve Irwin.
Out.
Oh, I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, no one got offended. Everybody loves Steve Irwin, but he got on there and got on TV a couple nights a week with his tight-ass khaki shorts, with his bulge hanging out, no problem, and tormented animals, and nobody got on and said anything to this man. This man was with his chest hair hanging out, his hamburger meat. Nobody says nothing. Then they cried. And then they cried. And they just
we cried.
And they just listed him as one of the top, like one of the best human beings to ever live.
All time.
Come on, man. Anyways,
I love that
all time.
We also totally bypassed the fact that he said, "Go ahead and get your grandparents sick and kill them, and your cousin with asthma. Go ahead, get them sick." And
nope, that didn't matter.
No, we don't care that he. We're not going to take that seriously. We're not going to take. How about the fact that in his special, his 2 specials ago, he said he wanted to shoot torpedoes at cruise ships. He wanted to get a submarine and shoot torpedoes. We didn't take that seriously.
Because there's only certain topics. If it isn't racism.
Yeah. That hit a little too close to home. It's like.
It's only certain topics, man. Yep.
Oh well, I mean, Bill Burr's the king, and he's gonna be. And this ain't shit. This ain't anything he's never dealt with before. I mean,
dude, he trashed a whole city. He literally trashed a whole city to their face. These people don't know nothing.
And then they cheered.
These people don't know nothing.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing.
They have no clue who Bill Burr is.
Exactly. And I'm quite frankly, I'm annoyed with them, whoever them are.
Yeah, seriously, get over yourself. Bill Burr is, and if you know anything about Bill Burr, he's one of the most open-minded and I would say fair people, especially in Hollywood. Like,
go
Bill
listen
Burr
to his
doesn't
podcast.
care who you are. What? Yeah, seriously, he doesn't. He simultaneously loves and hates everyone at the same time. Like that, he wasn't out. He didn't disparage anyone's beliefs. He didn't put anyone down.
He was up there working. He was working, man.
The people that are mad, the outrage culture. This is who he's shitting on. So that's why none of this is going to affect him, because the people that are complaining and offended, these are the exact people he's talking about. So they can all go fuck themselves.
I'm with you.
You heard it here first.
I'm with you, dude.
All right, Soldier. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I don't want to preempt anything, but if not the next podcast, definitely by the end of this month, I have an idea. Hopefully, we can make it come to fruition. So Stay tuned for the future.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited.
All right, soldier.
All right,
All right,
man.
everybody, have a good night.
Yeah, take care, guys.